Let's pray. Almighty Father God, thank you so much, O God, today. Thank you for your blessing, your goodness. Thank you for the day's, night's, evening's rest, O God. Thank you, God, for giving us that gift of sleep. Without you, we know we cannot accomplish anything, O God. Holy Spirit, we acknowledge your presence in our life, even in these studies, in this review, O God. Maraming salamat po sa iyo. Lord, we dedicate to you today this lecture. Make it, O God, a most fruitful day in our review. Lord, we praise you and we glorify you for everything and even for the things that we are learning and for the training. We praise you and we glorify you, God, in Jesus' name. Amen. Good morning. So, punta tayo dito. Now, for translation of objects or dynamics, we have case number 1, constant velocity, S equals Vt. S displacement, V velocity, and T is time. Now, when there is a constant acceleration, acceleration is the change in velocity per unit time, that is V2 minus V1 over time, that is A. So we have these three formulas which are just revolve around this formula, and yung V2 is V2 minus V1 over T is A. We have derived these three formulas, no? So, one is V2 equals V1 plus AT, at another V2 squared is V1 squared plus 2AS, and S is V1T plus 1 half AT squared. Merong 5 variable dyan, yung V1, V2, SAT, VV, SAT, parang via satellite ba? Now, this formula doesn't have an S. This one doesn't have a time. This one doesn't have a V2. So, pag hindi ka interesado sa S, use this. Pag hindi ka interesado sa time, use this. Pag hindi ka interesado sa V2, use this. Madalas, maraming mga problem na na-encounter yung V2 ang hindi tayo interesado. So, kadalasan ang nagagamit ito. Okay? Now, if the acceleration is not zero, pero hindi rin constant, then we use the differential notation. We have V is ds dt, A is dv dt. So that if we get V over A, that is ds over dt over dv over dt, this will cancel. So this will be ds over dv. You follow? Maliwanag. And also kapag combination of 3 cases, or 2 or 3 cases, we use the what we so-called the motion curve or the AVS diagram para lang yung shear and moment diagram. Let me illustrate it with this example. A motorist is traveling at 70 kph when he sees a traffic light in an intersection 250 meters ahead, turn red. The motorist wants to enter the intersection without stopping his vehicle, just as the light turns green, no? What uniform deceleration of the vehicle will just put the motorist in the intersection when the light turns green? Isa-isahin natin, no? So, take note that the traffic light red cycle is 15 seconds. Ganito siya. Una, let us try to convert 70 kph into meters per second kasi naka-meters tayo, no? So, yung velocity natin is 70 kph, kilometers per hour. Kilometers is 1,000 meters. Hour is 3,600 second. Or to convert kilometers per hour, simply divide by 3.6. And this is going to be equal to 19.44 meters per second. Okay? Now, in 15 seconds, dito siya nag-red. Ito. In 15 seconds, eto mag-green. So, ibig sabihin mula dito hanggang dito, meron lang tayong 15 seconds. Dapat, in 15 seconds, gusto nitong mama, nitong driver, hindi na siya mag-stop. Gusto niya, dire-diretso lang, mag-decelerate lang siya, pero pagdating dito, tumatakbo pa rin. So, gawin natin. So, meron tayong time, meron tayong S, meron tayong V1. So, hindi tayo interesado sa V2, let us use the formula S equals V1T plus 1/2 AT squared. So here, you'll be able to solve RA. So, substituting this is 250 equals V1, which is 19.44 times time 15 plus 1/2 times A times 15 quantity squared. So, your A is going to be equal to negative 0.37 meters per second squared. This is the deceleration. Kuha? Now, letter B, ang tinatanong is 1.2. Ang tanong sa atin dito is, if the vehicle decelerates at a constant rate of 0.5, kung yan daw yung pinili niyang deceleration, what will be its speed when the light turns green? So, ano daw yung speed when the light turns green? So, hinahanap naman ngayon dito is the V2. So, from our formula, V2 equals V1 plus 80, I would still presume na yung T is 15 seconds, yung red light cycle. So, hinahanap yung V2. So, V2 is V1, 19.44 plus the deceleration of 0.5, that is negative 0.5. Basta deceleration, negative acceleration, times time, 15. So, therefore, this is going to be 11.94 meters per second. You follow? Maliwanag? Okay. So, if you convert into kilometers per hour, kung ito, divide lang 3.6, ito, pabalik sa kph, multiplied by 3.6. And this is going to be 43 kph. Kuha niya? Okay, sige. Okay, let's have this one. A body is uniformly accelerating from 0 to 1.8 meters per second squared. So, hindi constant yung acceleration. So, I will be using the AVS diagram. Acceleration, velocity, displacement diagram. Okay? So, ang sabi, yung velocity daw, yung acceleration, uniformly increase from 0 to 1.8 in 4 seconds. The initial velocity is 3 meters per second. We are asked to find the distance traveled after 4 seconds. So, ang hinahanap is in 4 seconds. Let's do it. So, yung V diagram natin, eto, let me write here the V ordinates. So, yung V at time 0 is 3. 3 plus the area of this equals the V here. So, 3 plus the area is 1/2 of 4 by 1.8. And this is going to be 6.6 meters per second. Kuha? So, ang velocity dito ay 6.6. 6.6. So, therefore, ito yung ating diagram. Okay? So, para malaman mo this is first degree, this must be second degree, meaning parabolic. Paano kung nalaman na ganito yung shape, hindi pa ganon? No? Ganito. So, meron tayong tinatawag na Padillas cusp. Para madali lang bantandaan. Yung Padillas cusp, inintroduce ko to sa inyo sa surveying, right? Okay? So, pero, ang talagang application niyan, ginamit ko lang sa surveying para hiramin yung sign convention. Pero, ang talagang application ng Padillas cusp, yung shape na ganon, makikita mo sa pagdrawing ng shear and moment diagram and AVS diagram. Ito siya. Ginagamit to sa left to right convention, ha? Okay? Now, this one parang sa signal ba? Or sa volume. Increase, ito decrease. So, this portion is increasing. This portion is decreasing. So, ito is plus, minus, plus, minus. Ito is decreasing negative, ito decreasing positive, ito increasing positive, increasing negative. Tignan mo lang yung A diagram. It is positive, right? Tapos increasing. It's positive, increasing. So, ibig sabihin, ang shape ng diagram pag ganito. Nagsimula yung diagram sa 0, so magsisimula siya sa tangent with the horizontal. Naintindihan? So, ibig sabihin, ito ay tangent sa horizontal. So, meaning, this one is a full spandrel, second degree spandrel. Kung ito ay 6.6, ito ay 3, then ibig sabihin, this is 3.6 na. Kuha niya? So, kunin natin ngayon yung ating S. Sa S natin, starting with 0, 0 plus the area of this is the S here. Okay? So, let me draw here my S ordinates. Starting with 0 plus the area of this, which is area of a rectangle, 3 by 4, plus area of this spandrel, that is second degree, so the area is 1/3. Tama? Okay? 1/3 of base height, 4 by height, 3.6. So, i-calculate nyo ngayon, this will be the S after 4 seconds. Kwentahin ko ha. So, this is 16.8 meters. Okay? Naintindihan? Sige. Let us take problem number 3. Non-constant acceleration. An object moves along a path whose parametric equations are y equals 2t squared and x is t cubed, where x and y are distances traveled in meters, no? So, merong x, merong y component, pero hindi nagbigay ng resultant. Ang tinatanong ngayon dito is compute the acceleration after 3 seconds. Now, alam natin yung acceleration, solving lang natin ax and ay. Acceleration is a vector quantity, so we can always apply yung resultant vector solution. That is yung applying Pythagorean theorem. Okay? So, yung ating x is equal to t cubed. Kunin natin yung dx dt. Yung acceleration along x is the second derivative ng x with respect to t. Kasi yung dx dt, that is the velocity along x. dv dt, that is the acceleration along x. So, differentiating this with respect to time, this would be dx dt is going to be equal to derivative of this. This is 3t squared. dt dt is 1. Ito yung velocity along x. And the derivative of this, this is velocity along x. And the derivative of this is dv x dt. Derivative of this is going to be 6 times t. Ito yung acceleration along x. And a time is equal to 3 seconds, no? At t is equal to 3 seconds. You'll have here, the acceleration along x is 6 times 3, and this is going to be equal to 18. Now, let us do it likewise para sa acceleration along y. Yung y is equal to 2t squared. So, kunin natin yung dy dt. Our dy dt is the velocity along y. And this is going to be derivative of this. This is 4 times t. Tama? Okay. Now, yung ating acceleration along y is simply dv along y over dt. Tama? So, that is derivative again of this. This is going to be 4. So, at time equals 3 seconds, parehas pa rin dahil this is already constant. So, AY is equal to 4. So, therefore, the acceleration after 3 seconds is equal to the square root of AX squared plus AY squared. And this must be equal to the square root of 18 squared plus 4 squared. And this must be equal to 18.44 meter per second squared. You follow? Sige, paki-absorb. Okay, let's have this one. Number 4. A car travels at initial velocity of 11 meters per minute the first minute. Meaning, during the first minute, this is 0, 1, 2 seconds. So, during the first minute, the velocity is constant at 11 meters per minute. And then, it accelerates at the rate of 2 plus 12 times t. So, I would presume na nagsimula to at the end of the first second. So, magsisimula yan and so on. No? So, ibig sabihin, at time equals 1 minute, this is 14. Di ba? I-plot ko lang dito, ha? So, ito yung time, ito yung acceleration. So, when time is 1 minute, so you'll have here 2 plus 12 times 1, this is 14. At time is 2 minutes. This is going to be 12 times 2, 24 plus 2. This is 26. So, as you can see, this is a linear equation. A, first degree, T, first degree. So, straight line lang yan. So, kung i-drawing ko ngayon dito yung ating A diagram, ito yung time axis, ito yung A axis, the vertical. So, I would presume that from time 0 to time 1, no? Etong first second, acceleration is 0. Okay? So, therefore, yung ating acceleration will be linear, uniformly increasing. The value is from 14 to 26. So, this is 26. Ito yung ating A diagram. Now, the first second, ito yung velocity. Ang hinahanap sa atin, velocity at time 2 seconds. So, sabi natin, di ba, by our concept, the velocity here is the velocity here, which is 11 plus the area of this. The area of this is average height times the width. This is 1 second, no? So, this is 14 plus 26 over 2 times 1 second. So, if you compute this, this is going to be equal to 31 meters per minute. Okay? So, this is first degree. This must be second degree. But this is not 0. So, this is not a point of tangency with the horizontal. Okay? Mas i-detail ko na lang pagdating natin sa strength of materials. Ha? Okay? So, this one is 31 meters per minute. The velocity at the end of 2 seconds. Klaro? Okay. Let us take this number 5. If x is t cubed and y is 2t squared, where x and y are in meters and t in seconds, we're asked to find the velocity at time is 2 seconds. Just like what I said in problem number 3, just like acceleration, velocity is also a vector quantity, so we just apply Pythagorean theorem in order to find the resultant velocity. So, sabi natin Rx in the problem is given as t cubed, and your y is given as 2t squared. So, if x is equal to t cubed, then we have here dx dt. This is the velocity along x. And this is equal to 3t squared. while our dy dt is going to be equal to derivative of this is 4t, and this is the velocity along y. So a time is equal to 2 seconds when t is equal to 2 seconds. You'll have the velocity along x is going to be 3 times 2 squared, and this is going to be equal to 12, right? Okay? While here, your velocity along y is going to be 4 times 2, so this is 8. So therefore, the velocity at the end of 2 seconds must be the square root of vx squared plus vy quantity squared. And this must be square root of 12 squared plus 8 squared. So you calculate this and you'll get 14.42. 14.42 meters per second. Kuha? Punta tayo sa projectile. Pag sinabi mong projectile, ang approach lang is split it into two projections. The horizontal and the vertical projection. Okay, let's have this one. We have here a stone thrown at the top of from the top of a 50 meters high building with an initial velocity of 200 meters per second at an angle of 60 degrees with a horizontal. We are to assume that wind is moving horizontally with a speed of 5 meters per second. So, meron palang velocity yung wind na 5 meters per second. So, madadagdag to sa velocity. So, we are to compute the time for the stone to reach the maximum height. So, yung vertical projection nito, ito, will be ito yung V1y. Alam natin yung V1y is going to be 200 times sine of 60 degrees. While our V1x is 200 cosine of 60 degrees plus yung velocity of wind na 5 meter per second. I-add yan dahil resultant velocity man tayo. So, plus 5. So, this is 105. While this is 173.205. And this is meters per second. So, therefore, ito yung V1y. Ang hinahanap yung time to reach the maximum height. Ito. At the maximum height, remember, yung ating Vy is 0. This is at maximum height. So, if we will consider the vertical projection, it is a free fall, no? So, you have here V1, V2, sat. So, meron tayong acceleration due to gravity, 9.81. Pero for the sake of sign convention sa free fall, dahil ito ay downward, this will be given a negative sign. Alam din natin yung V1y, we know this, and V2 is 0. Correct? Ang wala tayo yung S saka time, hindi tayo interesado sa S. So, aling formula dun sa tatlo yung walang S? Kasi V1, V2, sat. So, meron tayong V1y, V2y, meron din tayong A. So, for the sake ng calculation sa freely falling body, dahil A is downward, downward will be given a sign of negative. So, this would be negative 9.81. V2, this is 0, no? So, sa S and T, ang hinahanap dito is yung time to reach the maximum height. Remember yung tatlong formula natin. V2 is V1 plus 80. V2 squared equals V1 squared plus 2AS. Yung pangatlo is S is V1T plus 1/2 AT squared. So, in this formula, ito yung walang time, no? Pero ang kailangan natin, yung walang S para ma-solve natin yung time right away, no? And it follows the rule of 3. We know 3, so we can solve time. Let us apply etong first formula. Yung V2y is 0. Our V1y is upward, so positive 173.205. Now, plus 80, yung A is negative 9.81 multiplied by time. So, the time to reach the maximum height is going to be 17.66 seconds. Kuha? Okay. Now, let us take yung number 2. Compute the maximum height above the ground. So, para sa maximum height, ito, I've been repeating this over and over again. Mula dito hanggang zero velocity, ang mathematical shortcut dito is velocity head. V squared over 2G. But this is V1y. So, our H here, H max, is going to be V1y squared over 2G. So, this is going to be 173.205 squared over 2 times 9.81. So, therefore, our H max here, the value is 1529.05 meters. Okay? So, therefore, the total H total is going to be equal to 50 meters plus H max. And this is going to be 1579.05 meters. Kuha? Okay. Now, what about yung 6.3? Compute the vertical velocity of the stone upon hitting the ground. Yung V1, eto. Yung V2y, from here to here. Tawagin natin tong initial point na point A, etong final point na point B. Sa vertical, eto yung A, eto yung B. Okay? So, if we will consider yung vertical motion from A to B, ang kailangan natin is V2y. Dito sa variables na to, you have V1y, V2y, VV-sat. Of course, acceleration due to gravity sa vertical is negative 9.81. Yung SY from A to B, alam din natin, 50 meters. Pero dahil downward, this will be given a negative sign. So, we know these two values and this one, kaya nating masolve to. Hindi tayo interesado sa time. Alin dito sa tatlong formulas ang walang time? Diba ito? So, let us apply this. Yung ating V2y squared equals V1y squared, which is 173.205. This is squared plus 2 times A, negative 9.81, multiplied by S. Yung S natin is downward, negative 50. Okay? So, this is one equation in terms of V2y. Your V2y is going to be 176.014 meters per second. Ito yung V2y. Do you follow? Maliwanag? Okay. Sige, kopya. Let us take this problem. A projectile is fired at an initial slope of 4 vertical to 3 horizontal. The initial velocity is unknown. That is required in 7.1. So, our V1x is equal to V1 cosine of theta x, or as we just had said, this is x over d. So, yung x natin 3, dahil 3, 4, 5 triangle to, so the d is 5, no? So, this is going to be v1 times 3 over 5, or this is 0.6 of v1. While our v1y is v1 sine of theta x, so this is v1 y over d. So this is v1 times the y is 4 over 5. And this is 0.8 of v1. Okay? So, ang sabi sa atin sa problem, it reached the maximum height 8 meters from the origin, horizontal distance, and according to the problem, and hits the ground that is 2 meters below the origin. So, this is the ground level. So, ang sabi sa atin dito, 1, calculate the initial velocity. Let us consider the initial point, point A, to the highest point, point M, to capitalize on the 8 meters distance. No? So, considering from A to M, so, considering the horizontal projection, sa horizontal projection, we have here S is VT, di ba? Sx from A to M is equal to V1x times time from A to M. Ito is 0.6, di ba? So, this is 8 meters is equal to V1x 0.6 of V1 multiplied by the time from A to M. So, let me call this initially as equation 1. Let me consider the vertical projection. The vertical projection from A to M, eto, mula dito hanggang dito, ang vertical projection niya ito. Diba pag ano yan? Ito yung V1y, tapos dito sa point M, ang Vy at M is 0. Pero ang time mula dito hanggang dito, parehas lang. This is the time from A to M. Ito yan. Now, considering the vertical projection from here to here, V1y, V2y, which is V2 at M, then S, A, and T. Yung A natin is known. Eto, known. Yung V1y natin is in terms of V1, V2y is known to be 0. At the moment we are not interested with S, the interest between the two unknowns, ang interest natin is time. Dun sa tatlong formula natin, ang walang S, yung unang formula. Diba? Yung V2 is equal to V1 plus AT. We are considering vertical projection, no? Okay? So, yung V2y natin at M is 0, V1y is 0.6 of 0.8 of V1. So, 0.8 of V1 plus acceleration is negative 9.81 multiplied by the time. Yung time from A to M is 8 over 0.6 of V1. So, solving this, we'll be able to get our V1. Dito lang, ha? So, we'll be able to get here our V1. Our V1 is going to be 12.78 meters per second. Okay? Alright. So, kunin natin yung 7.2. Find the maximum height reached by the said projectile. So, alam natin etong Hmax na to. Let me again repeat. This is velocity head ng vertical velocity. V1y squared over 2g. So, yung ating Hmax, which is V1y squared over 2g, this is going to be equal to, yung V1y is 0.8 of V1. So, this is 0.8 of V1 12.78. So, quantity squared over 2G. So, 2 times 9.81. So, therefore, this would be 5.33. So, 5.33 meters. Ito yung H max. Okay? So, therefore, the absolute maximum height is going to be 2 plus H max. So, H is going to be 2 plus H max. And this is going to be 7.33 meters. Ito yung ating maximum height. Ang third natin is we are asked here to find the range. So, tawagin natin yung final point dito na point B. So, para sa horizontal projection from A to B, ito yun, na? Okay? So, yung time nito from here to here, this is the time from A to B. Ito ay V1x. So, ang kailangan lang natin actually yung time from A to B because we already have this. Yung distance nito mula dito hanggang dito is called the range. So, this is Sx from A to B. And sabi natin sa horizontal projection, that is going to be velocity times time, no? So, this is going to be V1x times the time A, B. This is already solvable, 0.6 V1, but V1 is already known, right? So, therefore, we just have to find the time from A to B. Saan natin kukunin yan? Dito. If we consider the vertical projection from A to B. From A to B, remember, alam natin yung S. Mula dito, pababa, ito yung SY, which is negative to negative because it's downward. So, dun sa VVSAT natin, VVSAT, lagay ko dito ha, sa V1Y, V2Y, tapos SY, AY, times time. Ito yung target natin. So, dito, meron tayong V1Y, kaya natin yan dahil meron tayong V1. Yung V2Y unknown, yung SY known, A known. The rule of 3, tatlo yung alam natin, we can solve yung time. Now, sa tatlong formula natin, ang formula na walang V2 ang kailangan natin. And that is going to be S is equal to V1T plus 1/2 AT squared. Tama? So, yung S natin is minus 2 is equal to V1Y. Ang V1Y natin is 0.8 of V1 and that is upward, so positive, no? So, this is 0.8 of V1. Our V1 is 12.78 multiplied by the time. Okay? Tama? Then, plus 1/2 of A, negative 9.81, multiplied by T squared. This will enable us solve the time from A to B. Computing it, you'll get 2.2644 seconds. Okay? So, with that value, we can already solve SXAB. So, therefore, going to the horizontal projection from A to B, our Sx equals velocity times time. So, our velocity V1x is 0.6 of V1. So, this is 0.6 of V1. Our V1 is 12.78 multiplied by the time. And our time is 2.2644. So, computing our Sx, the range from A to B is going to be 17.363 meters. Ito yung ating Sx. You follow? Maliwanag? Okay. Let us take number 8. We're asked here to find the normal acceleration of this object rotating on a circular path with radius 2.5 meters if it is moving at an angular speed of 10 radian per minute. So that 10 radians per minute, computing that in radian per second, so this is 10 radian per minute. Minute is 60 seconds. So this is going to be 1/6 radian per second. Okay? Alright. Now, ang sabi sa atin dito, we're asked here to find the normal or centripetal acceleration. All objects moving on a circular path is subjected to the normal acceleration, which is v squared over r. But we know the relationship between v and r, di ba? Meron tayong relationship na s is theta r. So yung v is also omega r, yung a is alpha r. This is in radian per second squared, no? So, yung ating v ngayon is equal to omega times r. So, this is going to be 1/6 multiplied by 2.5. So, ito yung ating velocity. So, therefore, our normal acceleration is going to be v squared over r. So, this is going to be 1/6 of 2.5 quantity squared over r, which is 2.5. You calculate this and you will get a value that is equal to 0.0694. This would be meters per second squared. This is your normal acceleration. So, following yung Newton's law of inertia, meron kang inertia force dito to counter the acceleration. And this inertia force is mass times that acceleration. This mass times acceleration is called the centrifugal force. The inertia force in a circular path is called the centrifugal force. Mass being W over G, A being V squared over R. Kaya, we have the formula here, W over G, V squared over R. Diba ito yung formula na makikita nyo for centrifugal force? Naintindihan? Okay, please copy. Let's take this problem. A car enters at point A of this semicircular track at 120 and leaves at point C at 180 kph. If it gains speed at a uniform rate, meaning the acceleration is uniform along the track, so that is 300 meters radius, whereas number 1, 9.1, velocity of car at point B. Since B is exactly between A and C, the velocity at point B must be the V average, no? Average of velocity at A and velocity at C. So, our VA is 120, our VC is 180, so over 2, so the average must be 150 kph. So, if you want this to be in meters per second, all you need to do is multiply this by 1 over 3.6. So, you'll have this in meters per second. So, computing it, this is 41.67 meters per second. Ang susunod na tinatanong, 9.2, we are asked here to find the tangential acceleration, no? Yung acceleration along this path. Considering from A to C, yung motion from A to C. Ito. Sabi natin dito, di ba, you have V2 squared equals V1 squared plus 2AS. So, I will be using this to solve A without the time. Meron naman tayong S. S is solvable from A to C. Our V2 is 180. Our V1 is 120. Tama? Okay? So, therefore dito, your V2 is 180. I-divide ko lang ng 3.6 para maging meters per second, ha? So, over 3.6, and this is quantity squared. This is 120 over 3.6 para meters per second. So, this is squared equals plus 2 times A times S. This is half circle. So, half circumference. 1 half of, ano yung circumference? 2 pi r. So, 2 pi times r, r is 300 meters. So, this is one equation in terms of A. This is the tangential acceleration along this circular path. Okay? So, this would be 0.737. 737 meters per second squared. Now, the question number 3 is acceleration of the car as it passes through B. Now, take note at point B. I-isolate ko lang dito, ha? At point B, you have here a tangential acceleration. And that tangential acceleration is 0.737. Pero meron ka pa ring normal acceleration. Yung normal acceleration natin at B is equal to V squared over R. So, yung velocity at B is equal to 41.67 squared over R, 300. And this is 5.79. So, therefore, yung resultant acceleration at B is equal to the normal acceleration squared plus tangential acceleration squared. Okay? So, therefore, substituting the values, this is going to be 5.79 squared plus 0.737 squared. Computing this, you'll get 5.837 meter per second squared. This is your resultant acceleration at B. Naintindihan? Sige, paki-absorb. Let us have problem number 10. We have your car A currently at the center of the curvature of this. This is a semicircle. So, at point B, this is 30 degrees position from this radius. So, this is the velocity at point B. Now, ang sabi sa atin, the velocity of car A, it is traveling to the left at 65 kph. So, this is going to be 65 divided by 3.6, and this would be 18.06. So, and this is meter per second. And then, yung acceleration of A, it is accelerating also at 1.5 meter per second squared. So, unlike the car B, it is traveling at constant velocity. So, our VB, which is constant, which is 75 kph. Or this is 75 over 3.6, and this is 20.83, no? Meters per second. Question 10.1, determine the velocity of car B relative to a passenger at A. So, hinahanap yung velocity nito relative to this at this particular point. So, sabi natin yung relative, V relative is the difference of velocities, vector difference. It must be VB minus VA. So, ang gamitin natin dito yung mode complex, ha? Our BB, take note, if this is from horizontal to incline is 30, from the normal to the vertical, this must also be 30 degrees. Tama? So, we know that this is the 0. 0, this is 270 minus 30. So, 270 minus 30, that is 240. Correct? So, therefore, our VB is, eto, 20.83. Gamitin ko lang yung exact value, ha? yung 75 over 3.6. That is the 20.83. Angle 240 degrees minus VA. Ano yung VA? Our VA is 65 over 3.6. Angle, this is towards the 180 degrees. Then, para eksakto yung sagot natin, i-convert natin sa polar, equals, then shift 2, 3 equals. Kung kanon yung calculator nyo, just study yung, imbis na shift 2, 3, shift up ang gamit, no? Okay? So, computing this, so this is 19.593 angle negative 67.05 degrees. So, this is your V relative. Okay? Puntahan natin yung 10.2. Ang sabi sa 10.2, determine the acceleration of car B along the curved path. Alam natin constant velocity to, the tangential acceleration is 0. Ang meron lang dito yung normal acceleration sa B. Ito yung acceleration normal at B. Yung tangential, 0. Yung A and B natin, sabi natin, di ba, this is V squared over R. So, this is VB squared over R. Our VB is, eto, 75 over 3.6. Yung sakto lang gamitin ko, ha? 75 over 3.6 squared over R. The R is 200. Okay? So, therefore, you'll get this value as equal to 2.17. This is 2.17 and this is meter per second squared. Let me have yung 10.3. In 10.3, what is being required is find the acceleration of B relative to a passenger at A. So, ang hinahanap is A relative. Same thing. This should be AB minus AA. Okay? So, considering yung sign. So, gamitin natin mode complex again, AB. Yung A normal at B, this is, wala namang A tangential. So, eto na mismo yung resultant. So, this is 2.17 angle. And the direction of this, di ba? Kung eto 30, from horizontal, this is 30 degrees. Tama? So, it means kung 30 to, this is 150. So, this is angle 150 degrees. So, minus acceleration of A, the acceleration of A is to the left, and that is 1.5. So, this is minus 1.5 angle 180 degrees. Then, equal shift 2, 3 equals. Your acceleration, relative acceleration of B relative to A is 1.15 angle 109.27 degrees. So, this is the relative acceleration. Kuha? Let us have number 11. We have here a block at elevation 6 meters. Sliding on a plane 30 degrees with the horizontal, and it began initially at rest. So, V1 is 0. Okay? Now, the coefficient of friction between the block and the inclined plane, mu, is 0.25, 11.1, whereas to find the acceleration of the block. I would presume na yung acceleration is along the plane, no? So, we are asked to find this acceleration. And alam natin dito, yung acceleration is summation of forces in this direction is not 0. So, this is mass, which is W over G times the acceleration. So, para ma-solve natin yung acceleration, kailangan natin ito, saka kailangan ito. Okay? Walang binigay na forces dito. The forces will be all expressed in terms of W. So, kung ito W and this is 30 degrees, from the vertical to the normal, this must also be 30 degrees. Correct? Alright. So, this is our normal reaction. This is N. So, our N, summation of forces in this direction, 0. Our N must be equal to W cosine of 30 degrees. And our friction, kung ang motion is downward, ang friction is in this direction. So, this will be your F. Your F is mu times N, and this is 0.25 times N. Our N is W cosine of 30 degrees. Okay? Now, therefore, going back to this equation, let me call this equation 1. So, back to equation 1, summation of forces, wherein forces in this direction positive. So, the first component of W in this direction is W sine 30. Okay? So, you have W sine of 30 degrees minus the F is equal to the mass. Mass is W over G times acceleration. So, yung F natin, substituting it, you have W sine of 30 is 0.5 minus F. Your F is 0.25 times W cosine of 30 degrees. And this is equal to W over G multiplied by A. Yung W may be canceled out. So, we'll be able to solve our acceleration. So, solving our acceleration, we will have this as 2.781 meter per second squared. Now, solving 11.2, we're asked to find the velocity at point where when it has traveled 3 meters. So, ang hinahanap yung velocity at the end of 3 meter distance. Okay? So, paano natin sosolve yan? Meron tayong V1, this is 0. Yung ating V2 is unknown. It's in this direction, right? Right? Now, yung S natin is 3 meters. And then, yung acceleration natin is 2.781. Time is unknown. Hindi tayo interesado sa time. Ang interest natin, yung V2, aling formula ang walang time? Yung pangalawa, di ba? You'll have V2 squared is V1 squared plus 2AS. So, we therefore have here V2 squared is V1 squared 0 plus 2 times A, 2.781 times 3. So, therefore, our V2 is going to be, this is 4.085 meter per second. Lastly, ang tinatanong sa atin is, find the time to reach elevation 0. Meaning this one. Ang hinahanap sa atin, yung time. Okay? So, para dito, kung eto 6 meters, etong distance na to, take note that the sine of 30 degrees is equal to opposite 6 over hypotenuse, Tawagin na lang natin yan na S. So, therefore, our S is going to be 12 meters. So, bali, ang tinatanong is the time to reach or to travel a distance of 12 meters. So, from this point to this point, yung ating V1 is 0, our V2 is unknown, yung ating S is 12, yung ating A is of course parehas din 2.781, yung time is unknown. Kailangan natin ng time, hindi tayo interesado sa V2, aling formula ang walang V2, yung pangatlo. You'll have here S is equal to V1T plus 1/2 AT squared. Our V1 is 0, so okay na to. So this is 12 is equal to 0 plus 1/2 times A, 2.781 times t squared. So you'll be able to get your time. And your time is 2.94 seconds. So iikot ka lang lagi dun sa tatlong formula natin. V2 equals V1 plus AT. V2 squared is V1 squared plus 2AS. At saka S is V1T plus 1 half AT squared. Naintindihan? Sige, paki-absorb. When the problem involves force and motion, just like in the problem that we just had solved here, ang ginamit natin dito is etong principle na to. D'Alembert's principle. Summation of forces equals mass times the acceleration. Pag ang interest natin involves only acceleration dun sa mga VV-SAT, kung acceleration lang ang interest, then this would be the best solution. Okay? So, lagyan ko dito ng key, ha? So, pag ang interest mo, acceleration, so, this one. Kapag ka yung problem mo involves velocity and time, ang magandang gamitin yung impulse momentum equation. Ganito lang yun. Yung iba minememorize kaya nakakalimutan, no? So, dapat ang naintindihan nyo yung principle. So, mula dito, yung acceleration, take note, is change in velocity per unit time. That is V2 minus V1 over time, right? So, eto pa rin yan. Itaas mo to dito, so magiging force times time, mv2 minus mv1. Remember what m times velocity is. It's momentum. Final momentum minus initial momentum, this is change in momentum, equals force times time. Force times time is known as impulse. You get it? So the impulse momentum equation is actually just repackaging of the D'Alembert's principle. So ginagamit mo to kapag ang interest is velocity and time. Okay? Ngayon, yung work energy equation naman, ito yung variation ng law of conservation of energy. So the potential energy, which is actually the sum of work done on an object, equals the change in kinetic energy. Kumbaga, yung loss in potential energy is a gain in kinetic energy and vice versa. Yung kinetic energy is expressed in terms of 1/2 mv squared. So the final kinetic energy minus the initial kinetic energy. Or you can factor out 1/2 m, so that is 1/2 m v2 squared minus v1 squared. Ang tatandaan nyo, by the way, ang point of emphasis natin dito sa work is force times distance. Yung force and distance or displacement dapat parallel. Pagka same direction sila, positive work. Pagka opposite yung direction, force and displacement, negative work. You follow? So ulitin ko, F and D are parallel. Naintindihan? Kuha nyo. Okay. Now, kung iplaplat mo yung force and displacement, meron kang force, ito yung force mo, ito yung displacement mo. So, when the force is constant for a certain displacement D, bali force times displacement is actually the area of the force displacement diagram. So, this may be expressed as an area of the FD diagram. Maliwanag? Okay, ito rin, pwede mo ring i-take to as the area of force time diagram. Maliwanag? Klaro, kasi force times time, parang force times a particular time. Kuha? Klaro. There would be occasion wherein it would be important to know that this is an area of the FT diagram, this is area of F displacement diagram para kapag ka yung force natin hindi constant, yung area ang gagamitin natin. Maliwanag? Okay. Let us apply that in number 12. In number 12, it says you have a block that is initially moving, this one, it is moving with an initial velocity of 22 meters per second. And then it stopped, sabi, after traveling 100 meters. So, yung na-travel niya is 100 meters. Paano siyang tumigil? Tumigil siya kung merong magpapatigil sa kanya or kumokontra. And yung kumokontra dito is the friction. Ang tinatanong sa atin dito, yung coefficient of kinetic friction between the block and the ground surface. Kung ito yung ating W, ito yung ating normal, yung normal is equal to W. Correct? Yung F natin is mu times N, or this is mu times W. Okay? So, meron tayong V1, meron tayong V2. Ang V2 is 0. Anong tinatanong? Yung coefficient of friction, mu. So, may V tayo, V2, V1, S. Anong equation ang nagdidil sa velocity and displacement? Ito sa acceleration. Ito velocity and time. Ito velocity and displacement. Work energy equation. So, applying here the work energy equation or principle, summation of work done on the object is equal to the change in kinetic energy 1/2 m V2 squared minus V1 squared. Yung summation of work done, take note, ang pinag-uusapan yung work in this direction. So the only force acting in this direction is F. But F is opposite the displacement. So therefore, the work done by friction is negative. Negative friction times the displacement of 100 is equal to 1/2 of m. Your m is W over G multiplied by V2 0, while this is 22. Correct? So substituting the values minus F, ano yung F natin? Mu times W. Mu times W times 100 equals 1/2 of W over G multiplied by negative 22 squared. Your W will cancel. So therefore, negative and negative will cancel, and we will be able to solve our mu. Computing our mu, you'll get 0.24247. This is the coefficient of kinetic friction between the block and the floor. Kuha? Okay, sige, pakikopya. What about the work done by spring? Sabi natin, yung work is force times displacement. Tawagin natin yung displacement na X. Ang problema natin, yung force natin is not constant. Actually, di ba yung force is K times X? It is linear. When X is 0, force is 0. Di ba? So, kung iplaplat natin to, ganito ang itsura. Ito yung displacement, ito yung force. Now, when X is 0, the force is 0. So, ito yung equation ng force. F equals Kx. Now, at a certain distance or displacement x, ito yung force mo, which is K times x. Diba? So, sabi natin, kung constant yung force, force times displacement is the area. Ganun din to. So, this one, hindi natin basta pwedeng i-apply na constant force times constant displacement kasi yung force hindi nga constant. So, ang gagamitin natin dito is etong work must be the area of the Fx or force displacement diagram. And for this particular case, for a certain x, it would be equal to what? 1/2 x times height, kx, and this would be 1/2 of kx squared. Naintindihan? Pero paano kung yung x mo hindi nanggaling sa natural length? Ang natural length dito, x is 0. Paano from a certain x to another x? Halimbawa, galing dito. Ito is x1, this is at x2. Ang kailangan lang natin yung work done by stretching it from x1 to x2. So, it would be this one. Ito yun. Tama? So, it is the area of this trapezoid. So, pwede rin yung area ng trapezoid or area of this triangle minus area of this triangle, right? So, yung work done para dito from x1 to x2 is going to be 1/2, area nito is 1/2 k x2 squared minus area nitong triangle na to from this result. It's 1/2 k x1 squared. Tama? Maliwanag. So, ito yung work done by the spring. Okay? So, paki-absorb then, we will solve that problem. Okay? Let us solve this problem. A 5 kilogram slider, so the mass of this slider is 5 kilograms. Is released from rest at point A, so it means yung initial velocity at point A is 0. And slides with a negligible friction, the friction here is negligible. The attached spring has a coefficient of stiffness K of 480 Newton per meter and an unstretched length of 0.75 meter. So, at point A, ito ay 0.75, 0.75. So, ito yung L unstretched. So, meaning, ang elongation niya at point A is 0.75. Okay? Ngayon, ang sabi sa atin dito, compute the change in potential energy when the slider is at B in joules. So, ang hinahanap yung potential energy, most likely the weight, no? So, gravitational potential energy. Yung change in gravitational potential energy is simply the work done by the gravity, okay? Or by W. And it must be W times displacement. And ang displacement natin must be vertical. Kasi force and displacement must be parallel. So, yung weight natin is mg. Kung ito yung mass, ang weight mo is m times g. So, this must be 5 times 9.81. So, this is going to be 49.05 newtons. So, in here, solving it, our W is going to be equal to 49.05 newtons. Take note that the weight is downward. Ito, downward. Ang SY from A to B. Ito yon. So, our SY is also downward. The force is downward. The displacement is also downward. Both are downward. So, this would be a positive work. Our SY is 0.75. So, therefore, this is going to be positive 36.7875 Newton meter or joules. Yung susunod na tinatanong sa atin, compute the change in elastic potential energy when the slider is at B. Yung change in elastic potential energy is the energy that is, or the work done by spring from A to B. Ang mas malaki dyan ay XA kesa XB. Kasi, kung sabi natin this is 0.75, di ba? Ito yung 0.75. L unstretched na 0.75 meter. So, it means at point B, ito yung kanyang X. Mula dito hanggang dito, this is X at B. No? So, therefore here, isolve ko lang muna yung XB ha. This is 0.75, this is 0.75. So, you have here 0.75 squared plus 0.75 squared is equal to square root of this. It would be XB plus 0.75 quantity squared. So, you try to calculate this. Yung XB is going to be equal to, so this is 0.31066 meters. That is your XB. So, ang kailangan ko dito, yung change in elastic potential energy. So, that is the work done by spring. So, that is going to be 1/2 K X bigger A squared minus 1/2 K X smaller B squared. Sa A kasi 1 half XA squared. Sa B 1 half K XB squared. So, therefore, this is going to be, i-factor out ko na lang yung 1 half K, 1 half of K. Ano yung K? Our K is 480 Newton per meter, no? Okay? So, this is 1 half of 480 times XA. Our XA is 0.75 squared. Our XB is 0.31066. 0.31066 squared. So, therefore, you compute that. So, this is 111.838 and this should be joules. Now, i-identify lang natin yung tamang sign convention. Look here. Because you stretch the spring, the force of spring here, ito yung force ng spring, it is towards this point. Tawagin natin tong point D. So, ito yung force sa spring. So, yung force of spring, as you can see, nagbabago yung direction kung rectangular ang tingin mo. Pero kung polar ang tingin mo, it is always towards D. So, as far as displacement is concerned, ang tanong ito, yung ating object ba from A to B, lumapit ba siya sa D o lumayo? Di ba lumapit? Umigsi nga yung X di ba? From 0.75 to 0.31. Mas lumapit siya. So, our force is towards D. Our displacement also is towards D. So, the work done by the spring is positive. You get it? Okay. Now, ang number 3 na tinatanong, we are to compute the velocity of the slider at B in meters per second. Hinahanap yung velocity dito. So, we are dealing with work and velocity, work energy. May key, di ba? If we're going to apply here the work energy principle, you'll have here summation of work done is equal to the change in kinetic energy. That is 1/2 of M V final, that is VB squared, minus V initial, VA squared. VA is 0. Okay? The initial velocity is 0. Ang kailangan lang natin is yung ating VB. Okay? So, yung summation of work done, remember, the forces acting on the object are the spring, the weight, of course, the normal force. Pero yung normal force, take note, ang motion is along the parallel. Along the normal, there is no displacement. Kasi halimbawa, from A, ang displacement niya galing dito sa F. Eto, ang normal niya, papunta sa F. Di ba normal ang pinag-usapan Hindi yung spring yung normal. Di ba halimbawa, nandito siya. Yung normal reaction dito, papunta sa center. Dito, papunta sa center. Look. At A, ang distance niya, 0.75. Sa B, 0.75. Ano yung displacement from A to B with respect to the reference? 0.75 to 0.75. Lumapit, lumayo? Wala. So, displacement is 0. Kaya, yung ating work done by the normal force is 0. So, ang meron lang dito, yung weight, saka yung spring. So, therefore, the sum of work done, yung work done by the weight is positive 36.785 plus the work done by the spring, which is 111.838, is equal to 1/2 the mass, 5 kilograms, times VB squared minus 0. This is one equation in terms of VB. We'll be able to solve VB. So, solving our VB here, so you'll get here 7.71 meters per second. Kuha? Let us try to have this problem. We have here a spring, and this block, the block has a mass of 1.6 kilograms. So, if I'm going to get the weight, W is mg. So, this is 1.6 times 9.81. So, this is 15 0.696 newtons. So, at point A, where it was launched at 6 meters per second, this is an unstretched length, meaning our XA is 0. Okay? So, X at point A is 0. Ngayon, we are to compute the value of X, meaning the displacement, when it first comes back to rest. So, meaning the velocity at B here is 0. So, the motion is from here to here. So, if we're going to take applying work energy principle, basta may spring na involved, it is really most practical to use the work energy concept. That is, summation of work done on an object in this direction is equal to the change in kinetic energy 1/2 m V final VB squared minus V initial VA squared. So, yung mga forces na nag-a-act dito, of course, you have the weight and then the normal. As I just explained a little while ago, dahil ang motion along the parallel, yung forces in the normal, the work done is 0. And this time, W likewise will do a 0 work. Why? Because it is normal. From A to B, there is no vertical displacement. Tama? Kaya, yung work done by W and by normal are both equal to 0. While N equals W. So, yung friction natin dito is going to be equal to mu times N. Okay? Magkaiba yung initial friction saka yung kinetic friction. Kasi yung una, statics, yung habang nagmo-move na siya, kinetics. Pero ang sabi dito, it was launched at 6 meters per second, meaning gumagalaw na, no? So, ang gagamitin natin is yung kinetics. Now, look here. Ang forces na nag-a-act on the object are friction, along this direction, friction, and, of course, yung spring. Yung force of spring, nandito siya, di ba? Ito yung force sa spring, F of spring. So, what we will have here will be the work done by the spring plus the work done by friction. But remember that our motion is to the right. So, the work done here will be work done in this direction. Meron lang tayong dalawang forces acting in the direction of displacement. The force of spring, habang etong object na to nagmo-move to the right, hinahatak siya ng spring. So, yung force of spring saka yung displacement, opposite. So, the work done by spring from A to B is negative. So, it is negative 1/2 of K times X bigger, that is at B. From the natural length to this one, ito yung ating X sa B. No? So, this is X, B. At point A, X is 0. Kaya, this is 1/2 K, X at B squared. This is what is required. Minus X at A squared. But XA, as we said, is 0. This is the work done by spring. Yung work done by friction, ang friction, the work done is always negative because it is always against displacement. So, minus F times the displacement from here to here. Throughout, kinetic friction is acting. So, F kinetic multiplied by the displacement XB is equal to 1/2 of M, 1.6 kilograms, VB, 0, minus VA, 6 squared. Ang hinahanap, remember, XB. We now substitute the values, but what is F kinetics? Our F kinetics is mu kinetics times N. But we know that N is equal to W, and W is 15.696. Kaya ito is 0.2 times 15.696. This is going to be 3.1392. In passing, isama ko na rin yung F statics. Our F statics is mu statics times N. So this is 0.3 times 15.696. And this is 4.7088 newtons. Okay? But since this is moving, the one that is acting is kinetics. So we now substitute the value. So this is minus 1/2 of K. Our K here is 30 times XB squared minus 0. So XB squared na lang. Minus F kinetics. Our F kinetics is 3.1392. I repeat, this is minus because friction and displacement are opposite in direction. Times XB is equal to 1/2 times 1.6 times 36. So that is 28.8. So this is one equation in terms of XB. We just apply a quadratic equation. So solving our XB is going to be equal to, so this is negative, lipat mo sa kabila, apply quadratic formula, you'll get here 1.285 meters. Ito yung displacement to which it will have 0 velocity here. You get it? Sige, paki-absorb muna, then punta tayo sa next question. So 14.2, ang tinatanong is compute the force that tends to move the block to the left when it is at rest for the first time. So pagbalik nito dito, mag-a-act ngayon yung force. Ang tinatanong sa atin dito, yung force that is required to, in order to trigger it back to motion to the left. Now, dito, meron tayong resistance. Ang resistance natin dito is force of statics. Ito ngayon yung force of spring, no? So, kaya ba niyang bumalik to the left? Kaya ba? Okay? Ang tinatanong is the force that tends to move the block to the left. Okay? So, kung yan ay yung spring, yung F natin must be equal to friction. Yung friction statics. So that must be equal to 4.7088. Yung force ng spring, ano yung force ng spring? Yung force ng spring is Kx. So this is equal to 30 times X. Our X is 1.285. And this is going to be 30 times 38.55 newtons. So, sobra-sobra yung force ng spring para ibalik siya sa motion. So, siguradong sigurado, dahil ang resistance mo is only 4.7088. So, siguradong sigurado, kaya siyang i-trigger pabalik. Naintindihan? Pero yung minimum force na required is only this one. Kuha niya? So, punta tayo sa 14.3. Ang required sa 14.3, compute the speed of the block when it reaches x is 0. So, pagbalik niya naman daw dito. Tama? So, pagbalik niya dito, take note ang velocity dito 0. Pagbalik niya dito, magre-reverse naman yung kinetics. Pabalik naman siya, kontra naman siya, no? Pero ang force ng spring is in this direction. Ang magiging pagkakaiba ngayon ito. Yung force ng spring is towards this direction. Ang motion is towards this direction. Kaya, ang work done by spring this time is positive. Okay. So, i-consider natin yung motion this time from B to back to A. Wherein the velocity at B is 0. Ang hinahanap yung velocity at A pagbalik. Okay, tingnan natin, ha? So, applying the work energy equation, summation of work done is equal to the change in kinetic energy, 1/2 m VA squared minus VB squared. Ito yung final, ito yung initial ngayon, no? So, yung work done is the work done by the spring. Yung work done by spring from B to A will be positive. 1/2 of K, X bigger is XB. X smaller is XA. So, XA is 0. Okay? Now, yung work done by kinetic, so, eto, to the right, motion to the left. So, work done by spring, negative pa rin yan. So, minus F kinetics times XB. XB is already known to be 1.285, ha? Ang unknown dito, yung velocity at A, pagdaan niya ulit dito. Okay? So, this is equal to 1/2. Mass is 1.6. VA unknown. VB is 0. So, we substitute the values. This is going to be 1/2 of K, 30, XB, 1.285 squared, this one, minus 0, minus F kinetics, which is 3.1392, multiplied by XB, 1.285. So, this is 1.285. Okay? Is equal to 1/2 of 1.6 times VA squared. So, therefore, your VA is going to be equal to 5.09 meters per second. As you can see, pagbalik niya, because of the resistance, because of friction, pagbalik niya, meron na siyang loss. Pag alis niya 6, pagdaan niya ulit dito, 5.09. So, paliit ng paliit yan, hanggang bandang huli, magbalik na siya sa 0, dito pa rin sa A. Naintindihan? Okay, sige, pakikopya.